What's up, GQ? It's Dwayne Haskins. This is how I spent my first million.
A year ago, GQ Sports released the first video in their series My First Million, where athletes cover how they spent their first $1 million. Well, in hindsight, they managed to pick someone whose situation has drastically changed since. That being former Washington football team quarterback Dwayne Haskins. At the time the video was released, multiple YouTube financial experts released their reactions with some interesting insights. In 2019, he signed a 4-year, $14.41 million deal. The 2019 season saw Haskins get off to a promising rookie year in the NFL, including winning Rookie of the Year in Week 12. Prior to the 2020 season, Dwayne was named the starter and one of the team captains. Well, what a difference a year makes. He since went on to get benched, get caught in controversies, and ultimately get released from the team before the season even ended. When the original video was made, Haskins could be expecting to bring in tens of millions of dollars per year for the next 5 or 10 years potentially. However, now for the upcoming season, he has signed a 1-year, $850,000 contract with the Steelers, none of which is guaranteed. The deal could end at any moment, and the way that it's structured, he could be released without payment. Sadly, this may be the most money he earns going forward as well. Before we start, I want to make it clear that I'm making this not to kick a man while he is down, but as a cautionary tale for others. Hopefully Dwayne pulls it all together this year and learns from this and is able to get a second chance at making millions of dollars. So without any further ado, let's look at how his first million looks now in hindsight.
Whose money is this? I just got here. This is not mine.
I bet he wishes it was his now.
As a kid, I always thought I was going to play in the NFL, and everybody thought I was crazy. When you play and play college football, especially if you're pretty good at what you do, you want to play in the NFL. So, of course, throughout the season, everyone was like, man, what you finna buy? If I got this, I would get this, I would get that. And I'm like, man, I got to focus on getting there first. I got to play well. So
this statement is painful to watch now. If he just focused on playing well, then his spending wouldn't have been such a big deal, as he could have earned a lot more, and he would have been better to laser focus on the sport at that moment.
Put all the work in. I knew I was going to be able to do it with hard work and perseverance, and I made it. I never really had a job growing up. I might have worked like some football camps, if that counts as like a summer camp or something like that, but I never had to work and clock in 9 to 5, none of that.
This is an important statement and lesson for everyone. The entry-level jobs most people work when they start out teach us valuable lessons. We might hate them at the time, but they teach us a lot of life lessons. And in hindsight, the lessons that they provide is worth much more than the measly salaries that you earn at the time.
Being in school, I didn't have any debt, so everything was already paid for. My apartment, only thing I had to pay for in college was my car bill. Might have had maybe a couple of bills for the library, but I had to pay that off.
This is another case of how avoiding the pressures that most people have to face actually led him astray.
The first thing I asked my agent, I'm drafted now, so when do I get paid?
This is a good question to ask to your agent, but it depends why you are asking. If you're asking because you want to go spend on lavish items, then it's not. If you're asking because you are dying to buy an investment property, it's a whole different story.
When I got my first signing bonus, I put about 70% of it away, 30% of it I put in a different account.
This is a very wise decision. Firstly, a large chunk has to go to taxes, so you need to set that aside and not spend it. However, it would have been wiser to put 70% after taxes aside. That is, to take out the amount he would have to pay in tax, then divide the leftover money.
I'm a financial advisor, so talk about finances, savings, having different buckets, he calls it, as far as having spending money, having saving money, having money put away for the long term. We have 3 different bank accounts. Make sure you be smart with your money, because at the end of the day, you don't make that money every day the rest of your life.
That's very wise, and it's great that he got a financial advisor to help him here. This could be a complete disaster if he didn't. But as he highlighted, there are so many different partners who take their cut, whether it be the agent, the financial advisor, taxes, lawyers, and so on. Since he has to pay these fees no matter what, I'd be taking those out off the top and then working out splitting the money after all that has been taken out.
The first thing I bought after I saved my money is make sure you save your chicken. I got myself a car and my mama house. I got myself a Bentley Bentiaga. It's a very nice car. I got a custom matte black, red interior. It's my baby, called the Batmobile, my favorite car. And you can see that car right here. And the tier right here. That car, $250,000.
This could be his only paycheck, and in his case, it's looking like it will be the highest paycheck you'll ever get. At $250,000 at 5% return, that car is worth $12,500 every year for the rest of his life. By the time he hits the normal retirement age in 40 years, it'll be worth $1.8 million. That car is more than a quarter of his 2021 salary. But he has to pay taxes and an agent, so that car is actually worth nearly 50% of his 2021 salary after tax.
I'm not buying no more cars. Not a very great investment to buy cars. They depreciate with value. If you're gonna buy a car, make sure you're comfortable with what you're buying.
Yeah, they depreciate, but they also come with the opportunity cost of not investing.
What was your mom's reaction like, and how did you give her the house?
I guess it was like the mortgage papers. She has to sign on it too, because of course she's living there. Being able to just, hey mom, got a surprise for you. Here's a house. But she was just so excited and being able to, move to somewhere where she'd be comfortable. Give me a really big hug and definitely made those 14 plus years of hard work worth it. I always wanted to give my mom a house. That's like something a lot of athletes want to do for their mom. My mom sacrificed a lot for me growing up, and being able to take care of her is something that was really important for me.
This is great that he bought his mom a house, and it's a noble thing to do. Also, at least it's a solid asset as well.
How much was the house that you bought your mom?
There's not enough on the table. That would be the rest of all this money, so $750,000. My mom's house was $750,000, but that wasn't spent for me, so I'm not going to count that.
So yes, it's noble, but $750,000 is almost the entire salary he earns now, and would take him more than 2 years to put that aside now. Not to mention the associated costs of the house, because you have taxes, you have insurance, you have utilities, you have general maintenance, and so on.
I always wanted to go out the country. I have not gone yet. Declaring from the draft, right from college, just training, and then hopping right into the NFL season, there's like literally no time to go anywhere. I'm going to the Bahamas soon, trip coming up next month. I like to shop smart, so I got the flights in advance, so they weren't more than like $800, and then the hotel's like $3,000 for a couple days.
So let's budget $10,000 for the vacation.
Yeah, like maybe like 5 or 7 around there. Finance guys watching, so I'm being smart, Steph. 10 bands, vacation money.
$10,000 on a vacation is extreme. However, as crazy as this seems, I think at that point he had earned it. He'd worked hard all his life to get to this point and never got to leave the country, so I think it's actually good as a one-off experience. He could have stayed in a cheaper hotel, but otherwise it's not so bad. Is it optimal finances? Probably not, but it's important to enjoy life, so I can get behind it. I would suggest selling appearances or something along those lines to make money off the trip while he has a big name, but I still think he earned this.
I bought some jewelry. I got some on right now. Shout out to Gabe. I always rock earrings. I didn't get my ears pierced till I was like a junior in high school. Me and my dad got ears pierced together actually, so it's pretty ironic. I got me 1 or 2 watches, something I got on right now. Patek Philippe. I bought it bust down already. It's like a chandelier. This watch can be worth over $100,000. I did not pay that much for this watch though. I gotta pull up my receipts. It say like $60K for the Patek.
$60K on a watch that's worth $100K is a pretty good deal. Can't complain about that one either. In fact, it's a wise decision if that's accurate. Patek Philippe is an expensive brand and they do generally hold their value, so it's a reasonable purchase under the circumstances.
What about the chain? How much was the chain?
Another 10. Chain.
$10,000 on a chain is something I could never understand. However, I'm not a chain guy. Look, if he's keeping it for his life, it's not so bad. It will have limited resale value because it's personalized, but compared to some rappers and other athletes, $10K is actually pretty cheap. So as a one-off expense that he keeps for a lifetime, I don't mind it. Is it optimal? Again, no, but we do need some enjoyments in life, and it's a relatively small expense compared to some of the bigger ones that could have a much bigger impact.
You gotta be drippy, so I got a couple nice clothes. My dad always says I get my fashion sense from him. He used to model and all that stuff like that, so I always kind of knew how to dress. I just didn't have the money to buy the expensive things. So of course, when I got to the league, I was training in LA, so Rodeo Drive is like one of those places you hear, like, met a whole bunch of fashion people out here. I got a personal shopper now, and I don't go to the mall anymore. Having somebody I can just text and like, I want to get this shirt, I saw this shirt here, being able to buy it for me. Shout out to Joey Dubs. I gotta buy suits. Suits was something I had to buy for the season, being a quarterback. Bought like 4 or 5 suits, tailor-made, 10.
Athletes need suits, so it's kind of a necessity. Do you need $10,000 worth of tailor suits made? No, but again, it is an expense that comes with the job. I have an expensive camera, and for me, I need it for work, so I see this as the same type of expense. However, a personal shopper scares me. I don't see how you can control the prices you are paying if you have a personal shopper. Also, given how easy it is to buy stuff online and return it if it's not the right size, I don't see why you can't just do that.
If I had to say clothes and everything like that, first year, Like 40,000.
And this is where it goes too far. Suits are the most expensive clothes you need, so I don't see how you can spend $40,000 on t-shirts and basic pants. Especially given they are sponsored by sporting companies, so I just assume most of their sporting gear is given to them for free or they even paid to wear it. Anyone with any type of name could be making money off their clothes, and for $40,000 he could easily launch his own fashion label, then wear samples himself, which becomes a business expense. If the company goes broke, you lose the $40,000, but you're in the same position as spending $40,000 anyway. Also, what is scary is how he says in the first year. What is he going to spend that every year from now on? That's 5% of his income or 10% of his income after tax this year.
I got a funny story. So I'm training in LA. I'm working out with Deshaun Watson and a few other friends, Deshaun Kaiser and Manny Wilkins, with my quarterback coach, Quincy Avery. And we're playing a game. And we're like, whoever loses has to buy dinner tonight. So unfortunately, I lose, right?
Isn't it unfair the person who loses, therefore the worst player, therefore the one who will probably earn the least, is the one who actually has to pay?
We go to some restaurant and they run the tab up on me crazy. First of all, it was supposed to just be us four. They invited friends, family, cousins. It was like almost 15, 20 people at the table. I'm like, there's no way I'm paying for all this food. It was like almost $10,000. I was pissed. So I didn't bet with them no more.
If I lost a bet like that, I would legitimately never talk to those friends again. I'd be fine to pay for their nice steaks or whatever they wanted, but if they bring 15 people along, I'd be there to eat, then right before finishing, I'd sneak out and pull a runner. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy, especially when you look at how much that money would mean to him now, and then that they would just go and make him waste that money. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Another thing happened. Rookie dinner. That's like a real thing in the NFL. Offensive linemen, we took them out to eat, and of course they ordered all the appetizers, all the steaks they can get. They do not want to go to Applebee's. They want to go to the best steak place that they can find. That was an expensive bill too. It's something you want to do, take care of your linemen, they block for you, take care of you, keep you off the dirt, and I'll do it again if I have to.
You didn't actually say how much the rookie dinner was. However, this is an important and a wise decision for a quarterback to take care of his linemen. In saying that, wasting money on a dinner is ridiculous though. It would be much better spent on something more tangible or give them each a small stock portfolio, for example. How about we start the rookie stock portfolio tradition instead of the rookie dinner, where each rookie has to buy $2,000 worth of stocks for the senior players.
Shout out to Corey. I have like a whole bunch of like murals and like motivational things. I got a weight room. I have like 5, 6 different paintings. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. I just got a Kobe mural. I got a whole like poker table of like my favorite rappers with Scarface. It's like Jay-Z, Nipsey, J. Cole, Biggie, Tupac. It's a dope piece. He didn't charge me that much. So I'll probably say another 10 for Corey to paint my basement.
$10,000 on artwork is ridiculous. There is value in having motivational posters around your room, but when I can buy motivational posters for $50 online, I don't see how $10,000 is worth it. It'd be different if it was classical art or something, but even then you really need to know what you are buying. Also, given he has now moved to a different city, does he still live in the same house? Because if he moved, painting on the walls is now useless and the $10,000 is completely wasted.
Being in the NFL, of course, you have family members that you want to look after and a couple of friends that you grew up with. The biggest thing I learned is how to say no, because people will ask for a lot if you let them. I took care of my sister, I helped her go to school, stuff like that, something that I feel like was important for somebody to move forward with their life, I'll help them with. She got a scholarship to SCAD, Savannah College in Art Design. She is an actress, and she's majoring in communications. She wants to produce movies, make movies, be in movies. My dad always says she's more talented than me at what she does than what I do, but that's up for debate. I need 50. Degree money, sir. Going to my sister.
Paying for loved ones in general is dangerous, but this is another wise expense. $50,000 for his sister's college is going to help her get her life going. It's not just giving her random cash for the sake of it, it's essentially investing in her future. So hopefully she's successful and can put him in a movie down the line to repay the favor.
If you have an away game in New York, do you get taxed from the state of New York?
I try to tell you, taxes are no joke, bro. So you'll get taxed where you play, you'll get taxed when you play at your home stadium. So if you play in LA, you're getting LA taxes. If you're paying New York, you're getting New York taxes. For that game that you're playing, it's ridiculous, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's push all this money in for taxes. Ouch. That hurts. Yeah, this is all taxes.
Taxes are brutal. 550K of that goes to taxes, which is just highlights how absurd his spending is when we think about the context of all of this.
It's my first million. That's it, guys. It's off for my first million. Catch me at FedEx Field next year. Go Skins, HETR. I'm out later.
Well, we won't catch you there now, but yeah, wow. Let's look at this with some financial perspective here. Firstly, he went well over $1 million here. 750K for a house plus 550K in taxes plus 450K in other expenses is more than 1 million. But anyway, he signed with the Washington football team for 4 years, and with the issues, let's say he earned 14 million for the first contract. Let's say he earns another million with what's going on and factoring he might have lost some due to his past issues, bringing his total earnings in the NFL to $15 million. After tax, he loses probably 50%. That's $7.5 million gone from the get-go. 15% off the top goes to agents and lawyers and other expenses. That's another $2.25 million gone, meaning $9.75 million is gone before we begin any spending.
So before we talk about my first million, it's very important that you save your money. Now that I made the money, I'm like, bro, there's taxes. So like, I'm thinking I'm getting all this money and like half of it's going to taxes. You got agent fees, you got all this stuff you got to pay for.
Therefore, $5.25 million lifetime money in his pocket from the NFL. 750 of this goes to his mom's house, so he only has 4.5 million for himself. Then 250K on the car, then that's 4.25 left. This is why so many athletes end up broke. He worked his ass off to get that money. He deserved to be set up for life.
But it goes pretty fast. You think you got everything in the world once you get drafted, and then you look at your check and like, it's a lot of money, but it can go if you don't spend it the right way.
He could have splurged 250K, then still have taken $5 million, invested it at 5% return, and it's going to be $250,000 a year for the rest of his life, passive income if he had structured this right. Even if he had spent $1.25 million and kept the $4 million, it's still $200,000 a year in passive income. Instead, who knows what we're looking at here? I hope he learns from this and his career turns around and he gets a second chance. Once you spend the money, it's gone. The $10,000 dinners won't do anything for you in 5 years. The $750,000 house you buy your mum will have expenses that you need to pay for every year going forward. The $250,000 car is an expense you can't afford. The artwork in your house is useless when you get released and have to move to a new city with no money guaranteed and so on. I hope this works as a cautionary tale for everyone. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please chuck me a like, and as always, good luck.